Star Trek captured my imagination as a child, and I have been a Trekkie ever since, so you can imagine my surprise earlier this year when a new book was placed by a colleague on our new bookshelves in the science reading rooms, entitled The Realization of Star Trek Technologies, the Science, Not Fiction, Behind Brain Implants, Plasma Shields, Quantum Computing, and More by Mark E. Lansbury, published by Springer, 2017. Source: Springer. Permissions: http www.springer.com. Book 9783319409122. The science collections, here at the British Library, often include unusual gems, and this must be one of my favorites. The story was modeled on Jonathan Swift's Gulliver's Travels and various American Wild West and adventurer literature, and became a media prism of the times. Many contemporary issues were played out in the scripts, including racism, power, politics, warfare, rise and fall of empires, and these always had a moral dimension. The cultural impact of Star Trek was enormous, as it spawned a dedicated fan base over decades, who campaigned to keep it going in difficult times and ensuring it was a commercial success in the good times. The philosophy behind Star Trek enshrined values of hope, humanity, equality, and the search for new knowledge and wider horizons. Source: Leonard Nimoy. Wikipedia. Wikipedia 1507 times 1911. Search by image. Nimoy as Spock with William Shatner as Captain Kirk, 1968. Nimoy and Star Trek. Star Trek, the U.S. sci-fi franchise, was created by Gene Roddenberry, and the original series was launched in 1966 on the NBC TV network and followed the adventures of the explorer Starship Enterprise led by Captain James Tiberius Kirk in the 23rd century. Gene created a new world in the imagination of generations of fans, and this evolved into a wealth of characters, narratives, TV series, films, and even a constructed or artificial language, Klingon. We even hold a 1992 Klingon dictionary, English Klingon, Klingon English by Mark Okrand, in our collections. Mark Lansbury's book explores the science behind this Star Trek world and helps us understand where the line between today's actual science and our science fiction is transforming into science fact as the decades roll by. He explains the science of cloaking and invisibility, the variety of replicators from nanobot microengineers, to 3D and 4D printers, to organic and cellular fabrication of human tissues, blood vessels, and food. Gravitational waves were predicted by Albert Einstein in 1906 and detected in 2017 by the physicist Nobel Prize winners, Rainer Weiss, Kip Thorne, and Barry Barish, and the author speculates on the nature of gravitons as both spacetime curvatures warped by celestial bodies and multidimensional points within the energy strings of superstring theory. The author explores gravitons that could be used as deflector shields and tractor beams, the use of plasma and electromagnetic shields, the technological state of play of computational linguistics, and the universal translator route. Source: http www.imdb.com. lit 0060028 ref_fn_l_tt_1 Harvey P. Lynn, 19211986, was the honorary science consultant in the early days of Star Trek, who graduated as an electrical engineer and worked at the RAND Corporation as a liaison officer between RAND and projects for the U.S. Air Force. It was his critical input that adapted scripts to be both technically plausible and, as it turned out, quite prophetic. Lynn is often credited with inventing the term phaser, based on laser technology. Lynn served for almost a year and a half, receiving a nominal $50 per episode. Andre Bermanis followed in his footsteps for the modern spin-off Star Trek live-action productions, while Jesco Von Puttkamer also served as a science advisor on the earlier Star Trek the motion picture. Each helped root Star Trek into science fact while launching our imaginations into science fantasy. The British Library collections include much of this biographical, media, business, and socio-political background, and key references such as The Making of Star Trek by Stephen E. Whitfield and Gene Roddenberry. Written by Stephen E. Whitfield, Ballantine Books, New York, 1968, shelf mark 7,227,150 and 758,853 copies available via interlibrary lending. Inside Star Trek The Real Story, by Herbert F. Solow and Robert H. Justman, Pocket Books, US UK, 1996, shelf mark YK.1996B.15904, reference copy, Star Trek. I'm working on that, a trek from science fiction to science fact. William Shatner with Chip Walker, Pocket Books, London, New York, 2002. Shelf mark YK.2003, a.28505. Reference copy. Otherworldly politics, the international relations of Star Trek, Game of Thrones, and Battlestar Galactica by Stephen Benedict Dyson. Johns Hopkins University Press, Baltimore, 2015. Shelf mark YC.2016, a.2351. Reference copy in which Dyson explains how these shows offer alternative histories and future possibilities for humanity. For the Star Trek devotee and researcher, the British Library holds both in-depth academic and scholarly works, but also a variety of popular cultural resources found in comics, fanzines, and science fiction publications. Entrance to the reading rooms is free upon registration. See our website for further details and check our Explore catalog for collection items of interest. British Library registration https www.bl.uk. How to get a reader pass. Star Trek official website www.startrek.com. The Internet Movie Database http www.imdb.com. Written and posted by Paul Alchin, Science Reference Specialist.